Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fun tag video. I honestly really like doing tags. I just think it's so fun to like do them myself and then also see what other people's responses to it are as well. So I thought it would be the perfect time to do the end of year book tag, seeing as there's only a month and a half left in 2022, which is insane. And I don't want to think about that right now, but I do want to do this tag. So I do believe this tag was originally created by Ariel Bissett, so if I can find the original video, I will definitely link it down below. All that being said, we're just gonna get into it. So the first question of this tag is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I only have one currently. For the most part, I don't like having books that I'm like reading over a super long period of time. If I can't finish it in like a couple weeks, then it just like, it's not happening. However, this one is a special case, so I'm taking my time with it, and that's okay. I don't know if I will finish it by the end of the year, but obviously could be like a goal to set for myself. And it's a thick one. It is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I'm actually about 240 pages into it right now, and I was really enjoying this book. I've been tabbing it up a lot, and it's very satisfying. But I started reading this over the summer, and then school started. Fill in the blank. I don't have the brain cells to sit down and, you know, read a lot of this like 800 page classic. It's like 816 pages. This will be the longest classic that I finish. I am putting it out there that I will finish it. I'm gonna try and kind of like maybe focus on this over winter break. Whether that actually happens or not is another question. I do think it'd be really fun to read this in the winter as well, so I'm kind of glad that I took a break with it because I started it in July, and obviously this book is set in Russia. I just kind of associate Russia with winter. So, and there's like some snowy scenes as well. So I think this would be like the perfect book to curl up with on a very cold winter day. So hopefully that can happen. It might have to go into 2023 a little bit, but I do want to at least make like a decent amount of progress in this before the year is done, because I do really want to read it. I was really enjoying it. It's rather juicy, honestly. Like, it's just a bunch of family drama. I'm excited to see what happens. I also really want to watch the movie with Keira Knightley in it, but I just cannot watch movies before I read the books. Even with like classics, even though I know it would be helpful, I just really want to read this book before I watch the movie. So we'll actually see if that happens. This is a big brain goal of a book, shall we say, because it is going to take a lot of brain cells to get through it. Although I do find his writing style to be a lot easier to digest than some other classics that I've read. So the size is intimidating, but like the content of it is interesting, and I just need to read some more of it. So the next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I have quite a few books that are on my November TBR, and my November TBR is basically all like good transition books, because I'm looking for like gothic, kind of spooky, not scary because it's not Halloween anymore, but I do want like a darker story for that, sort of, you know. So I have my November TBR over here. First of all, I have Anatomy, a love story. This is a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. That tagline is exactly what I look for in a good transition book to the end of the year, so I'm very excited to get this one. I think I'm gonna read it in like late November. Like, that sounds perfect when it's like crisp outside. Oh, it'll be so good. And then I also really want to read The Book Eaters by Sun Yi Dean. It gives me all of the dark November, December kind of vibes, and it's about people that eat books, as the title suggests. So that sounds like perfect for like a weird, dark November tale. So I really want to read this one as well. And then aside from that, I do have one more book, but I don't have it with me, unfortunately. It's at my house, but I do really want to read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've been saying I need to read this book for a very long time. I actually got halfway through it earlier this year, but then I stopped because I just like wasn't in the mood for it anymore. However, I was enjoying it, so I do want to like get back into it also. It's on like so many TBRs that I've done. It's on my like general 2022 TBR, which I am slacking at so badly. Maybe we should take a look at what I did put on my 2022 TBR, and we can see if I'm failing as hard as I think I am. Oh, it is not looking good. Have I only read 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I just haven't been filling this out. Here's the spread that I did for my 2022 TBR. Don't mind the fact that that says 2021. I messed up and I just never went back to fix it. But I've only read 4 books off of this list, which is not good. And I am giving myself a free pass because I did put Chain of Thorns on here originally, but the publication date got pushed back. So I'm filling that one in anyway, but I still have like 7 books that I haven't read. And The Night Circus is on there, so I really want to read that one. The rest of them are probably not happening if I had to take a guess, but you can just see how badly I'm flopping at my 2022 TBR. But by the same token, I don't really know if I care that much. Like, I'm gonna try and maybe read like a few more off of it, but if I don't read them all, it's not the end of the world, because that's basically what I expected. Anyway, so how did I get on this tangent? The Night Circus, I put it on my 2022 TBR, and then I also put it on my fall TBR. Even though I don't agree with that assessment anymore, because it doesn't strike me as a fall book. It strikes me as a winter book, like very intensely strikes me as a winter book. So maybe I will try and read that one in December. We can only hope so. It does strike me as like a fall to winter kind of book, because it's kind of dark, circus, competitions, whatever. So that's also an option. Okay, so I'm gonna stop on the questions for a second so we can quickly talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Skillshare. Been working with Skillshare for the last few months. Love working with them, so I'm excited to talk about it again. So if you guys don't know, Skillshare is an online learning community full of thousands of different classes that you can possibly take in things ranging from like graphic design, marketing, productivity, illustration. Like, there's a lot of different options for you on there. A couple of things that I really like about Skillshare are the fact that it is ad-free, so you'll never be interrupted while you're taking your class. They're launching thousands of different premium classes every week, so there's always something new to check out. And it's super accessible because they have an entire catalog full of videos with subtitles on them. I just love the prospect of discovering a new skill or a new hobby that you never knew you could be interested in through one of their classes, and that's just so exciting. A class that I've been really interested in recently is Decorating with Plants for Beginners by Anna Marcoux. Since I've finally gotten my plant situation under control and they're not dying on me every 5 seconds, I can kind of start to focus on aesthetics and how I want to place my plants in my space, and she really just helps out with that. I feel like I've been taking a lot of plant related classes from Skillshare, but I've definitely seen an improvement in the overall health of my plants, which makes me so happy and definitely encourages me to watch even more. So if any of that interests you, I do have a special offer from Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial. So again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back in to the tag. The next question is a new release you're still waiting for. I don't really think I have any new releases on my radar for the rest of the year. I do have some for the very beginning of next year, and I'm gonna be really annoying because I've mentioned this so many times, but I'm just gonna mention them. Because in January, 2 books that I'm so freaking excited about are coming out, and that is The Stolen Heir, which is another book set in like the Cruel Prince series kind of, which follows Jude's little brother Oak, which I'm very interested to see what I'm gonna think of that book. And then obviously Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare comes out in like late January, I think. I will not talk about how excited I am for it because I mentioned it like so many times on this channel, but I wanted to bring it up. And then I also have one more that I believe does come out this year. I think it comes out in December. I can't read it yet. However, I think I might buy it anyway. And that is 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. Look at the cover for this book. Like, you're joking, it's literally so pretty, and I might just have to read the Truly Devious series before the end of this year so I can read this book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so pretty. I need a copy. I will read it eventually. I'm not just gonna buy it and not read it. Do not fret. But I might have to pick it up when it comes out. Oh, also, the second book in the Legendborn cycle, is that the name of the series? I don't know. Bloodmarked comes out. Oh, it came out today. Oh, maybe I'll have to go to Barnes & Noble and get it. Honestly, I'm so excited about this one. I loved Legendborn. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it before the end of the year, but I do want to read it ASAP, so I think I'm gonna have to go get it. The next question is, what are 3 books you still want to read before the end of the year? Honestly, I have a million books I still want to read before the end of the year, but I do have some options. This is honestly a random assortment because I have so many books that I want to read before the end of the year, but these are the ones that really jumped out at me when I looked at my shelf. So first of all, I want to continue Throne of Glass so badly. I need to start on Queen of Shadows, although I think I kind of need to look up a recap of what happened in Heir of Fire, because it's been like 5 months since I read that book, and if I let it go any longer, I will actually just forget everything. So definitely really want to read this and a couple other books in this series before the end of the year as well. I think I'm gonna start reading this weekend though. So plans are in motion. I'm really excited about it. I want to read Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong so badly, but I need to read Our Violent Ends first, which doesn't really excite me because I liked these Violent Delights, but it's not like a favorite, and I'm decently interested in knowing what happens in the second book, but I really just want to read Foul Lady Fortune. The concept of it is just a big yes from me, and I want to read it so badly. So hopefully I will find some time to read Our Violent Ends, and then I can read this. And then lastly, I thought I would throw in something that's not just a YA book, and that is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. This is on my general fall TBR, I think, and I would like to also not have that TBR flop. This one's really short, so hopefully this happens. I know this is kind of spooky, and this does give me November vibes. Probably more prominently, it gives me October vibes, but it's not an option anymore, so hopefully I can read this one in November or December. I love a good ghost story, and I think that's what this is. I guess we'll find out, huh? The next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Honestly, I hope so. I'd love to discover a new favorite book of the year because I feel like I've been reading a lot of books that I enjoy, but not too many have like really stood out to me. So I'm excited for the prospects of a new favorite book. I just don't know what that's gonna be. I feel like I could really end up enjoying one of the Throne of Glass books. I've heard really good things about like the later books in this series, so I'm really excited to see if any of those surprise me a bit. But aside from that, I don't really know if I have any other books that I'm waiting on to read that I think are gonna be favorites. Oh, do you know what I think could be a favorite? Actually, now that I think about it, it's over there. Should I get it? I'm gonna get it. Okay, apparently I lied and that book is at home, but I really want to read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor because Strange the Dreamer definitely has to be one of my favorite books of 2022. So I have high hopes for her other series. I'm very interested to see what I think about it because I haven't heard much about the premise of it, but I have heard a few things, and from the few things that I've heard, I'm so excited to jump into it. So, I'm just thinking about, there's so many books that I want to read before the end of the year. It's not all gonna happen, but we can hope. We can certainly hope. And then the last question is, have you already started making reading plans? What? Have you already started making reading plans for 2023? Ew. I don't even want to think about the fact that it's gonna be 2023. Honestly, no. Like, there are books that I'm like, oh, I want to continue that, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'll read that this year. Even though my mind apparently does not want to like cope with the fact that there's only a month and a half left in this year, so. Do I have any reading plans off the top of my head? Honestly, like none. Oh, why did it get so bright? Oh, it got very bright now that I've turned around, but it's fine. Honestly, I don't know if I've made like any, you know, substantial reading plans for 2023 yet. I do want to jump into some high fantasy series. I really, like, I know it's not gonna happen this year. Like, that's just, I can't do it. But I really want to continue the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I need to read Words of Radiance, but it's 1,200 pages and the text is so tiny. Those are some long books and they're so intimidating, but I loved The Way of Kings. I thought it was so good and I've been meaning to continue it for like a year and a half now, and I think if I let it go any longer, I really am gonna have to reread The Way of Kings, and then it's really not happening. So I need to get on that really soon. But I also have like some other high fantasy series that I want to get into. I want to read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've tried to read it a few times and I haven't really been in the mood for it. But every time I see somebody sing its praises, I'm like, yeah, I need to read that book. And then I don't. But I just heard that her writing is so good and I need to read it for myself. But I just haven't been in a high fantasy mood. But I think I'm getting there because it's been a while since I read any high fantasy. So I'm really excited to jump into that. Aside from those, I don't think I have any other plans really for 2023. I'm a big mood reader. So those are all the questions and this is the end of this tag. Honestly, I've had such a fun time filming this. I just love sitting down and having like a really chatty time. So definitely what I did today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please answer any of the questions that you want to down below. I would love to hear what books you guys want to read before the end of the year, or if you've made any reading plans for 2023, please let me know and we can talk about it and whatnot. So yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. I'm gonna let you guys go, but again, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.